All right, in our Woke Watch this week, does the W in WNBA even stand for women anymore? Even the league can't answer that simple question as the debate over men in women's sports, it continues to heat up and dominate the headlines. Joining me now, founder and CEO of XXXY Athletics, Jennifer Sey. Also with us, professor of kinesiology and sports sciences at the University of Nebraska at Kearney, Dr. Greg Brown. Let's start off with this. A WNBA task force held a meeting on Wednesday to discuss transgender athletes in the league, but they were apparently not able to come to an agreement on the eligibility rules, Jennifer. So you had these group of people, I heard it was an hour-long meeting of the minds because you saw that Enes Kanter-Smith and Royce White, you have these other men, former NBA players, saying they're lacing up their sneakers. They want to be eligible for the WNBA draft. And they couldn't even define what a woman is. How disappointing is this and how ridiculous?
Well, it's ridiculous, but I would say expected. I sort of called it before the results of the meeting were issued. They didn't even talk about what the requirements should be. I guarantee what they talked about is how can we make a statement that says nothing and commits to nothing. I don't know why this is so hard. I mean, I do. I think they have an agenda and it has nothing to do with women's basketball. But all they would need to do is adopt the current rules from the International Olympic Committee and the Women's Tennis Association, World Athletics, World Swimming. That's all they would have to do. Major sport governing bodies have already done this. They could even hide behind that if they wanted to, but they won't do it because their agenda has nothing to do with women's basketball. It's woke politics. And I would argue that they may, in fact, have males playing in the league. This is not about trans. This is about men playing in the league. They have currently a person who plays in the league who has declared that she is non-binary. No one cares because it's a woman.
Right.
We don't want men in the league. This is women's basketball. But they're going to kick this can down the road as long as they can. I think they're going to be forced to do something, though, because I know that Enes Freedom is going to play this all the way out.
He certainly is. And Doctor, talk to me about the fact that they say, well, trans women are women. From a physiological standpoint, no matter, you can put on the breast implants, you can put your hair long and take all the hormones. You can't make a man into a woman and a woman into a man. They're just physically too different.
You know, that's an incredibly important and basic point that somehow we've lost track of. There are important biological differences between males and females, between men and women, between boys and girls. Those differences start at conception, they're present at birth, they are magnified by puberty, and you can't undo that genetic male-female difference.
You really can't. And you know what's funny, Jennifer? The WNBA's commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, back in 2019, she had a very different stance when it came to women playing in the WNBA. Here she was in 2019, which she might now be canceled for. Listen to this.
We welcome those who want to invest in our league that showcases, without doubt, and I've seen this myself, the best athletes in the world. And it's also a league that's empowering women and young girls with our female role models.
So she didn't say trans. She said women, young girls. I mean, what do you think?
I think this woman is failing at leading this league in more than one way. She is failing to capitalize on the popularity of Caitlin Clark to make this league profitable. She has a golden goose. She won't do it because the players don't want it. The players consistently vote Clark outside of the top 10 players in the league, and clearly she's ranked in the top tier. She's afraid of her own players. She is not leading at all. She's afraid the players, because of their politics, are going to be mad. She's afraid that there are male players in the league, perhaps that she knows about, that will be mad and will be expelled from the league. But you got to lead here, and she's unwilling to do it. And I would say her consultant background could have told us that going in. You know, these people are good at passing paper around, but not necessarily making decisions and taking a strong stance when leadership is required.
You know, Enes Kanter, he said, you know, he was watching TV and this is what provoked him to want to join the WNBA. Let's take a listen to that clip.
I was watching the post-game interviews and one of the players came out and literally said, I welcome trans athletes in my team. any day and every day. And she even said, there's no problem me going against a trans athlete.
So, Dr. Brown, he's right. We have athletes, women, WNBA players, who say they welcome the trans players to come in. Would that spell the end of the WNBA? Could a woman actually compete against a man on the same level playing field, or same court for that matter?
You know, she might be able to compete, but she probably wouldn't be able to win because the average NBA player is about 7 inches taller than the average WNBA player. The average NBA player is 30 to 40 pounds heavier than the average WNBA player, and that means about a 40% greater muscle mass in that male player. And so even if that male player identifies as a woman, even if that male player suppresses testosterone, still going to be 7 inches taller, still going to weigh a lot more, and still have a lot more muscle mass. And that drives athletic performance and the differences between males and females.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Jennifer Sey, Dr. Brown, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.